Hey, I'm back with another awesome unboxing video, and today we got a completely new old thing. And that doesn't make a lot of sense, but here, I'll just show you. This is the Jazwares Sonic and Amy comic 2-pack from about a decade ago. Completely new in box, and yeah, I mean, what really more can I say? Jazwares was probably one of the best Sonic toy makers, I guess, back then. And I really wanted some of the classic figures, which I think they only made 5 of, but I'd like to get, you know, the ones that I can. And I was really lucky to find this on eBay for a very decent price. Completely new in package with the comic intact. An Archie comic, which they don't make anymore, so I don't know the value of this comic, but I guess we'll just kind of skim through it and see what it's about. But yeah, let's take a look at the back of the box, actually. So as you can see, there are some character bios here for Sonic and Amy. You can pause and read those if you'd like to. Very, very nice addition. I know Jax does this too, Jax Pacific, the current Sonic toy makers, but it's not as in-depth or as long as this, maybe because they don't have a lot of room on the back of the box, but it's very, very nice. I love these images, these classic images. They're very cool. And there's the classic Sonic logo. See, it even says Classic Comic Book Pack. Alright. So, I guess it's time to open these guys up, and really, it's only because I want to do some comparisons to newer Sonic toys and how these hold up compared to what we have today. Or, I guess vice versa. We'll see. Let's just open them and check them out. So here we have Sonic the Hedgehog and Amy Rose out of the package. So, one thing I must say is that Sonic had a lot of trouble standing. That's, like, look at that. I just moved the table a little bit and he falls over. But yeah, I gotta say, I've never had a lot of Jazwares figures growing up. I only had a modern Sonic and Tails, so that wasn't much, and they're in pretty bad condition because of how I played with them, I guess, as a kid. But it's nice to finally have some brand new ones of these classic characters, because I actually don't think there's a lot of classic Amy action figures out there, if any other ones besides this one, so that's pretty nice. But of course, classic Sonic, he has a lot of different iterations and action figures out there, but I think this one is probably the one I wanted the most, because I just love the shade of blue they put him in. I love the shoes. As you can see, they've got like a shiny paint on them. It makes him stand out a lot better, and it just looks very standard, you know? His articulation is kind of limited. He can only really move his legs and turn his shoes and his gloves and his head. And he also has a part in the stomach, I think. I don't know if I can turn that too much. It's kind of hard. I don't want to mess with that right now if it's too hard to turn. But yeah, very, very nice figure. I hear a lot of things about these, that they're kind of weak. I hear that if you try twisting the shoes, they don't turn too much. I think actually this one's quite fine. I don't know about this one though. Nope, they're actually both fine. Well, I guess I was lied to. But I would say that I'm sure these Jazwares figures are can be very flimsy and can break pretty easily. I've seen a lot of these on eBay out of box with no, like, foot. The foot just broke off after a while. But yeah, it's a very, very nice little figure. Now let's just move on to Amy then. Amy Rose, probably my favorite character in the whole Sonic series, and I really love the classic Amy. And I mean, look at her. She looks amazing as a little classic figure. It's very nicely detailed. One thing about both of these actually is the eyes. The eyes are like little separate grooves that were in the mold to paint into, and they didn't fill the whole thing, so they got these weird shadows that are sometimes cast in certain lighting, but not a big deal. You put it on the shelf, she looks fine. Her arms go up, her wrists, her hands or wrists rotate, which is very nice. Her legs do not kick outward, but the shoes do turn. Then I think she turns, yep, she turns right here at the waist. And, you know, you got your standard just head articulation. So, yeah, I don't know what to really say more about this figure other than it's very nice to have a classic Amy action figure. So yeah, and she's exclusive to this 2-pack. You can only get her through, or back then you could only get it through this comic thing, but of course now you can find individual out-of-box Amy's in varying conditions just being sold for about $30 a pop. So yeah, what can I really say? This is a very good pack. I love Sonic and Amy together. I just love pink and blue colors, so they look very, very cute and nice together. And obviously the scale is very good too. Sonic is a little taller than Amy, which is accurate. All right, but let's just, you know, switch gears here and let me show you one of the big reasons why I got this 2-pack. So once again, here is the Jazwares Classic Sonic we just got today. Now let's compare him to the 2.5 Jakks Pacific Sonic, Classic Sonic. So at first glance, they don't look that different. All right, I mean they're both Sonic. They're both a light blue, but I think this Sonic, yeah, this Sonic is a little taller. This one is 3 inches. This is 2.5. So this Sonic is slightly taller, which is nice. The pose is more standard, which is also nice. The blue is a lot better. I don't know if you can really tell in this video, but this is a darker blue, which I do like. I don't really like the weird light teal they give all the classic toys nowadays. Just classic Sonic anything, it's like a very light teal, which I'm not a big fan of. It's nice sometimes, but I prefer this darker blue and like this more, just, it's like a peacher skin tone, maybe? But like this one's very pale. It's very pale and like yellowish, which, I don't know, I like the more colorful Sonic. And like I mentioned before, the shoes are a nice glossy red finish, as opposed to these, which is just kind of a, it's still a little glossy, but not as in, you know, it looks a lot better here. But of course, with this Sonic being a little bigger and a little bluer, something I prefer over this newer Classic Sonic, is also the scale with other characters. So now here's the Jakks Pacific Classic Dr. Eggman or Dr. Robotnik, and then here is the Jazwares Classic Sonic. And honestly, I think this scale's a lot better than the Jakks Classic Sonic. Let me see if I can grab them. These guys don't want to stand right now. Yeah, I just like this Sonic because he's a little taller, you know, slightly taller than this guy. The pose is a lot neater, and these guys just look a lot better together right here than the Jakks Pacific Classic Sonic. So I'm very, very happy about that. That was one of my other reasons of wanting to even get one of these guys here, because just it scales better with the Jakks 4-inch figures. Another example, as you can see here, is the modern Sonic figure. I think this Classic Sonic is a way better fit than the 2.5 one, because he's like half an inch taller. That's really all they needed to do, and the scale is just a lot better. You know, it looks like Generations almost, you know? So yeah, very, very happy that I was finally able to pick this guy up because of just the scale that really works with these two. So with that being said, Amy does not have a modern Jakks figure yet, but we do have something that might work. Here is a Resource Amy Rose figure. This is a very old figure, way older than any of the Jazwares ones, but look at that. They also scale pretty well, I think. I mean, Classic Amy wasn't in Generations, so we can't really tell, but all we know is that the classic characters are shorter. And the Resource Amy does scale with the Jakks Pacific. I just love when these figures scale with each other, even if they're not part of the same company. So here's Eggman again. It's very fitting. And then here is, here is Mecha Sonic. We can get these to stand somehow again. Yeah, whatever, they're fine. So yeah, this is not a bad scale. Really, it's all about scale here that I think turns out making this just look a lot better than just having all the Jazwares ones or having the 4-inch Classic Sonic here. You know, he's huge compared to this Eggman, and then having the 2.5 Jakks Pacific Classic Sonic, who is just too tiny. So yeah, so now that I'm sure I completely lost you in that last part, let's just talk about the comic. So this is a Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic, number 229, the Sonic Genesis Part 4, whatever that is. I am not familiar with Archie comics, but yeah, it's just a little comic book you can read once you get one of these packs with the figures. So, not really sure what any of this means, what's really going on, because I don't want to read through it, but it's just a very nice addition to really have with these, you know? I mean, I guess it made it worth it back then if you didn't have that comic, but it's a nice little bonus. I'm sure I'll just keep this somewhere, you know, put it in a little plastic comic sleeve or something. Just keep it safe, because I'm not sure exactly how much this is worth. I don't know if it's really worth anything, but it's just nice to have. And there's an ad for Archie. It's Archie, advertising Archie. But yeah, very nice art, very nice comic. It's just really a thing of its time, which is pretty cool. It's just been sitting in this box for about 10 years, waiting to be opened up. You can get the figures and get a nice little read. So I guess to conclude, these are fantastic little figurines. Jazwares, rest in peace your Sonic line. It was amazing, but I think Jakks is gonna eventually be the better toy manufacturer for Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. As long as they just keep up with these rarer characters, I guess, you know, in terms of getting merchandise, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, these figures scale great with the Jakks line. If you're ever interested, you know, look on eBay, you might find some good deals. And yeah, I guess that's the video. See ya!